baby. How are we gonna prove the haters wrong?
I don't think we have to prove it.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Grim. This is truly the final boss of odd relationships right here. This girl is only 25 and her boyfriend, who she has a kid with, is 70 years old. Yeah, I know I made another video about this Love Don't Judge series recently, but I somehow missed this, and I mean, how could I not cover it? Without further ado, let's meet these two, and let's see how cringe their relationship really is.
This is 25-year-old Steph. She fell in love with 70-year-old Don.
I don't know why, but when I heard this dude was going to be 70 years old, at least in my brain, I was thinking that he was gonna be on some George Clooney suave old man type beat, but instead this guy looks like every other senior citizen I see, bruh. Don't get me wrong, he looks spry for his age, and definitely isn't like scary looking or anything. Not that old people can be that scary looking, well, some of them. But I don't know why, I was expecting this old dude to be a movie star or something if he's gonna be dating a 25-year-old. Obviously this woman loves him for much more reasons than his face or the way he looks, but I mean, also, maybe she's just really into old-looking guys. I mean, you have to be if you're with someone almost 3 times your age. There's no way around that.
I loved him like the second I saw his face. Everybody should date someone 45 years older than them.
You guys hear that? Me and you and the rest of us normies are living life wrong. Turns out it's lame to date anyone your age, or even close to your age, alright? You're not truly living until you get to date someone 45 years older than you. That way, you know, you have a significant other and someone to take care of. It's kind of like dating an old grandpa or grandma, you know, they're so kind, and I'm sure you can learn a lot from each other. They can tell you about life lessons and teach you about taxes, and you could teach them how to play Fruit Ninja on their iPad or how to even turn the thing on. It's literally a perfect relationship if you ask me.
So it was a little shocking. With Don being the same age as Dad.
Yeah, screw that. I'm not trying to have my daughter dating someone older than me. I don't want my daughter dating at all if I have one, but obviously they will. But I at least hope that they are dating someone in their age range. I don't know why, but this is just so odd to me, and I would have this issue if I was his mother as well. And I really have this same conundrum every time I do one of these reactions to these types of couples.
Somebody told me that I was rushing my life by getting married so young and having kids so young.
Yeah, she just said screw it and skipped her 20s, her 30s, heck, she even went forward half a century almost, and is just gonna live it up with this senior citizen husband of hers. Oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention, I found out they are in fact married with a kid, but we will get into that later, don't worry. But yeah, she's really out here just living life free of judgment, and I guess that's cool, you know, if it makes her happy, more power to her. When I see people that are individual like this, I love that, you know, not being afraid of what others think about you is a very cool trait in my opinion, and she's definitely one that possesses that, even though it might be to a fault. Still though, this is just an odd situation all around and kind of gives me the heebie-jeebies.
We've been together coming up on 5 years, and we've been married for 1.5 years.
Okay, so literally though, when they met, he was over 3 times her age, so my title is not clickbait. In fact, it wasn't even accurate, you know, she was 20 when they met and he was 65. That's 5 years more than 3 times her age. Just imagine walking up to someone that old at a bar, or whatever location they met at, and starting a combo. Like, this dude must have thought he won the freaking lottery when this person 2 generations younger than him started flirting. Like, I'm surprised homie didn't have a heart attack right then and there from the pure shock of that.
Just 5 years ago, Stephanie was working at a local pub when Don walked in and changed her life forever.
Oh, I was guessing that this was at a bar, but I was actually right, guys. This dude is out here flirting with his bartender, and it actually worked. I want to know what kind of moves he pulled on that one, because usually that's a nearly impossible task alone, but throwing the fact that he's super old makes it even more challenging. This dude's a freaking legend, yo.
I loved him like the second I saw his face. And it was super weird because then I was like, oh my god, this guy's like at least 30 years older than me.
Guys, I want you to imagine graduating high school and you know, you're kind of friends with people that you went to school with, but you really only see their lives through social media. But seriously, imagine going on Instagram one day and seeing that this girl from your school, where you guys graduated from only 2 years ago, and she's already starting a relationship with someone that was born in the 1940s. That's gotta be the weirdest thing ever to stumble upon, so I'm sure she got some backlash. I just can't imagine how often people think this is some dude and his daughter, or even granddaughter when they are out and about, and then they start just smacking lips like, wow, that must get some sideways stares everywhere they go.
I felt that Stephanie was losing out on a chance to meet somebody that she could grow old with.
The mom brings up an amazing point here, which might seem dark, but I mean, you can't pass up on this when it comes to these type of relationships. There's no way this dude is going to be around forever, obviously, and at his age, anything could go wrong at any second, and she could be a widow, or this kid could not have a dad anymore, which is devastating and terribly sad, but it's obviously something she had to have considered when entering this relationship. So I just hope she can handle that when the day comes. Despite that, if you love this person or not, it's gotta be hard. And I mean, it's messed up to think about that, but there's no disputing disputing it that this guy's old and old people pass away. Simple as that. I do like, though, that the mom stuck around, even though she didn't really approve of the relationship at first. You know, she didn't just abandon her daughter, and I bet she still has her reservations, but I mean, after the two of them have been together for over half a decade and happily married for almost 2 with a child, that must be pretty clear to this woman that this relationship is working and healthy.
It's always easy to sit back and judge when you're not involved in a situation or you don't know the situation, right?
Yo, why is this mom speaking so much facts right now? Like, yeah, I can sit there and clown on these people all I want. I mean, technically it is my job to find videos like this and react to them, but still, despite any judgment I might have, or you guys might have, these people are just out here living their lives and doing what makes them happy. So ultimately, that's all that matters, and I bet they're a lot happier than most of us. I still think this is odd, but I guess it's proof that these types of relationships can be real and work somehow, despite how many of us might have thought differently.
If I have Lachlan out for a walk or something and someone says, oh, Grandpa's got the little boy out today, I don't even correct them.
That has to be so tiresome to be out in public and get comments like that 24/7. I'm sure it happens literally everywhere you go because, I mean, you see someone that's 70 with a toddler, you don't really expect them to be the father of that kid, and that's got to be so annoying to these people, especially this guy. Speaking of that, I didn't even know you could still have kids at 60-something. Like, isn't that super dangerous and risky? I don't know, dude. Like I said in the previous videos, I suck at science and stuff like that, so I'm sure I sounded like a moron just now, but this dude is really proving everyone wrong at his age. He's got a 20-something-year-old bartender wife and a kid, and he is like super old. Like, that's a flex right there for the senior citizen community, I bet.
People used to be awful, like so awful. I just can't even believe it.
Like I said earlier, they might just think Grandpa's along for the ride until he starts doing PDA with who you thought was his daughter, but instead, nah, they're a happily married couple. I really hope Barcroft continues to capture these reactions if that's the case, if any of these people stare like that, because I mean, that's gotta confuse people to the max, and I would love to see their faces. You know, I'd be so distraught for the rest of my day if I witnessed that and didn't know what was going on or didn't have an explanation.
Good. Sometimes I like to call them out on it, and I'm like, did you have a question? I've noticed you've been staring at me for 25 minutes. And they never do. They never say anything, so.
Yo, that's actually kind of gas. Like, I can tell already that this girl is the perfect type of person to be in a relationship like this. She truly just does not care at all about what anyone thinks. So much so that she's willing to call people out if they're giving her odd looks or staring. Something about that is just so hilarious to me. Like, really, I would think I'm on a prank show or something if that happened to me, and she just started popping off on me for being curious. I'm sure some people take it too far, though, and actually give her mean looks. And if that's happening, then I'm sure her responses are justified, if you ask me.
So guys, real quick, I have a super fast challenge that only takes 5 seconds to complete. So if you can leave a like and subscribe within the next 5 seconds, you'll get 10 years of amazing luck. Just give it a try, it really works.
My first impressions were that it was a grandfather with his daughter and grandchild. If she was in love and happy and he treated her the way that she should be treated, that's good.
That's literally how everyone's response to this should be. There's no foul play going on in this relationship, and it's pretty clear to me if you watch any of this video that that's the case. So despite how odd it is, we can poke fun at it and kind of make a spectacle out of them all we want, but really don't take it to a mean place, guys, or get offended by this. It's simply two humans who are in love sharing their life together, and they happen to belong to very different age groups. It's not my thing, obviously, but I really can't shame them for being in love. That would be so whack if I did, or if any of you guys did. I mean, I'm glad this random woman they interviewed had a mature response to it too. Plus, she had a pretty baller accent, so congrats on that.
Not all, but a lot of my beer drinking buddies who are around my age are just passing away. A couple or 3 this year. I've never been afraid of going to that place.
No.
That's got to be low-key terrifying. I didn't even think about that, but think of his stress as he sees his colleagues and close friends passing away one by one as they reach old age. Like, he's gonna want to be clinging on for dear life so that he can help raise his son to, I don't know, at least become an adult, and that would be cool, so hopefully he can. But I mean, this guy seems to be pretty good health-wise for 70, and like I said earlier, that doesn't really matter. I mean, at that age, anything can really change at any time.
Please, don't, I told him, I said, don't you dare die in your sleep. Oh, I'd be so mad. I'd be so mad.
No
Don't
last
do
words.
that to me.
Bro, I'd be so mad if you passed away in your sleep. Please don't do that. What a reaction from her. That's kind of odd, but at least she's somewhat joking and lighthearted about the whole situation, which is probably how you have to be if you're in this position, since dwelling on that stuff can only get you more down. And I mean, even a young couple could have their lives rocked from anything at any time, especially right now. So it's really not something that you should focus your energy on. It's just always going to be in the back of her mind, but it really seems like they have a good handle on this situation. I just like that she seems like she'd be more triggered than sad if that happened, and I bet that'd actually be the case.
Despite the many factors going against their relationship, Don and Stephanie are out to prove that love knows no boundaries.
All in all, this couple was pretty wholesome. I mean, they're the only ones with an age gap that we've met that have a kid, so that's pretty cool. I mean, that's kind of unique. Anyways, let me know down in the comments what you guys thought of these two. Please remember to keep it civil. Anyways, that about does it for today's video, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. And until then, peace out.